So Megan, he will tell us, right?
Students, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us for the virtual college exploration program for Yes Prep. This virtual college fair is sponsored by the Yes Prep schools and by StriveScan. We've got three great organizations today to share with you some information and a few housekeeping items before we begin. First and foremost, you are encouraged to ask questions throughout the session via the Q&A button that you see on your screen. You do not need to wait for that institution presenting to ask that question. You can ask questions of Puebla, London University, and Verto at any point throughout this session. So use that Q&A to ask those questions. Your camera and your microphone are turned off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. So any questions you have should only be typed in through that Q&A. And this, unfortunately, is the last grouping of sessions, so we can't sign up for more sessions, but you can see the recordings of all of these sessions. They'll be posted by early next week at that same website that you went to register. And with that, I'm going to remind you all of the grouping of today's session. We're in this bottom corner here, this session C11. First, we have Universidad de las Americas Puebla, then we have Verto Education, and then we have London Metropolitan University, each presenting for 6 minutes. And with that, I'm going to encourage my colleagues from Universidad de las Americas Puebla to take over screen share from me, and you can go ahead and start your presentation.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good morning. My name is Julissa Alcántar, and I am with la Universidad de las Américas Puebla. I am super excited to share with you a little bit about our school. So just let's get started. All right. We are a U.S. accredited school. We are recognized by the SACSCS. And if you have any questions, we can give you more information about that. We do have bachelor's degrees that we offer that are accredited in all of these different areas. So I'll go through them just for biology, all the different types of engineering. ABET is one of our accreditation programs for the engineering programs. We also have master's degree programs. So you can see bachelor's and master's that are accredited by AACSB. So we've got banking, financial, international business, marketing, you name it. We are a one campus school, private university in Mexico. So we're about 45 minutes south of Mexico City. And we've got one of the most beautiful campuses that you'll ever see. So let me tell you a little bit about our faculty. 99% have a graduate degree, which is important because many times you guys don't want to see a professor that's only part-time or coming for one class. And so we have dedicated 50% of our professors come from top 500 ranked schools, and more than 60% of our professors have some type of international study or study abroad. Student ratios, super important. I know you don't want to be stuck in a class with 200 to 400 kids. Here we do take time to make sure that we have 20 to 1, 24 to 1 per section. Even with our online classes right now, we're not overwhelmed. So you can see how many kids per class. We are a 5-star ranked university according to the QS Stars rating system. These are just some of our pictures of our facilities. We do have state-of-the-art facilities in every content area. We really try hard to make sure that you are in an environment where you are like the real world, right? So everything with our engineers, we want our kids to touch and feel exactly what it is to work for Volkswagen or to work for one of the chemical companies, right? So within our buildings and our infrastructure, we've got 150 top-notch labs. We are huge, over 130 acres. We're right next to a volcano that is amazingly beautiful to look at. We've got 5 residential colleges within our school, Wi-Fi plentiful. We have over 200 student exchange programs all over the world. So many times people are like, you know, can I go abroad? What can I do? What's available? We have great connections throughout the world. So even if you're coming from the United States, but yet you want to go study in Germany, we do have internships and exchange programs available. All right, we also have some amazing strategic partners. These are just a few. Now, because we are so close to Mexico City, which is one of the largest cities in the world, we do have a lot of partnerships between Puebla, Mexico City, and throughout Mexico. So as you can see, we have a great range of different opportunities available for you. These are some of our business partners that we also work with to do internships. Some of the other things, we have a huge private library that's got online and in-person libraries that are amazing. We do offer scholarships and financial aid for you. We do accept the direct forward program through FAFSA. So please make sure that you have signed up online and done what you need to do for FAFSA. We have preliminary courses for new admission students. You do have to take an admissions exam because all of our classes are in Spanish. And so we want to make sure that you are ready to go. We also have tutoring. You know, so many times people get nervous that they might not know what they're supposed to know. And so we want to make sure that you are prepared in your courses. Our goal is for you to be successful. Okay. These are 52 bachelor's degree programs within our schools. As you can see, here they are. We've got everything. I mean, I would love to say, oh, we're really good at only one thing, but we've got so many things that we are good at, and we really try hard to make sure that people know we offer a little bit of everything. We also have 15 master's programs. I did my master's at the University of the Americas in Puebla. I got a master's in applied linguistics, and I came back here to the United States and I used it to teach English. So as you can see, these are just a few of the programs we have available. Now, we also have a program with HCC. I know many of you have done some dual credit with HCC, and all those transfer to us. You can start 2 years with them, do your undergrad, do your first parts of your associates, and then those can be transferred over to UDLAB. Like I stated, we do accept the William Ford Direct Loan Program. So you got to make sure that you have applied online, and we can make sure that that money comes to follow you to our school. This gives you an idea of what it costs to go to school in the United States, in Mexico, I'm sorry. When you stop and you look at $12,000 a year, and you realize that HCC is about $8,900 a year, we offer an amazing program, and this includes housing. So take a look at everything that we offer in there and see, maybe this might be something that is perfect for you. All right, we have early admissions that is starting now. It starts November 8th through December 18th for the spring. The earlier you apply, the better your chances are to get scholarships and other economic need. And on top of that, I just want to thank you for taking the time to come and visit us today.
All right, thank you for that information. And next up, we've got Lainey from Verto Education to share as well. So Lainey, go ahead and grab screen share from me. As Lainey's getting ready to go with the presentation, a reminder that you can ask questions of all three of these organizations throughout the session. Just use that Q&A button and send your questions, and they'll work to answer them throughout today's session.
Awesome, thank you. Hi guys, so my name is Lainey. I'm with Verto Education. Verto is something a little bit different than probably what you guys have been learning about and applying to so far. So what Verto is we are a fully accredited travel-based first semester or first full year of college. All of our semesters are international, except we have one domestic that's in Hawaii. So essentially, we are keeping you still on track to continue with your 2 or 4 year degree. We're not adding any extra time to that, but we're providing students the opportunity to get that experience while traveling around to different countries all over the world. I'm not going to show that video. So we are a consortium of 46 universities. So what that means is we are our own organization that provides our own college semesters, but we partner with almost 50 colleges all throughout the states. So when students apply to Verto, our application is free, it's non-binding, we have a rolling admissions. You can simultaneously apply to up to 5 of our 46 partner universities, and it's all free, it's all non-binding. And you would actually receive your joint admissions decision from Verto and those colleges in 2 to 3 weeks. Which is pretty awesome. And after that, you would spend a semester or a year, depending on how long you want to be traveling for, earning 16 or 32 credits. So it's 16 credits per semester with us, and gaining all those incredible skills that come with traveling the world. So definitely a lot of confidence, leadership skills, just basic career skills. I would say adaptability, definitely very important. And then after Verto, you'd enter your campus as a second semester freshman or as a sophomore. We are not a gap year because we are offering students a full semester of college credits. So you could say the gap year experience, but without the gap, I guess. So there are three main pillars for Verto. One is the best first year college experience. So we have two different types of semesters. One is on campus, which is a little more traditional. Those are in bigger cities like London and Madrid and Milan. And then we have field semesters, which are a little more like living out of your backpack. We have home bases. You're having a couple of weeks with local families staying at homestays. So those are in Latin America, Hawaii, and the South Pacific. Those are going to be a little bit different. And we have a fully supportive staff. We have program leaders and we have our own Verto professors, which are incredible, super passionate about traveling and about teaching. And they're there with you the whole time. So we're not just casting you off to some other country and letting you fend for yourself. We're there the whole time. The professors are, teaching you these college courses, and our program leaders are guiding you through other like seminars and sort of like pathfinding classes as well. So you can see here, these are the different semesters we offer. This is where those traditional college semesters in the US fall. Our most traditional is our England semester, and then moving all the way down, South Pacific is as far away from a traditional college semester you can get. So these are some of the pictures that our students have taken from our semesters. It's just nice and green and beautiful. So this could be you. This could be your view next year. So the second pillar is admissions to reach schools. So this is where our partner schools come into play. So as I mentioned, we have 46 universities on our partner college list. That is a constantly growing list. So we're getting more and more partner schools all the time. And through our application, as I mentioned, students can apply to these schools, and they are getting a holistic application. So this is the chance for students to get seen by those reach schools that they might have been denied from or waitlisted from. So our schools want our alumni because they know they're going to come back as more passionate students and more passionate learners. This is just a quick snapshot of some of our partner colleges. Our full list is on our website. I highly recommend checking it out. But as you can see, we have big, small, public, private, all over the states, and some international colleges as well. And then our third pillar is an affordable first-year education. So as we know, higher education is not typically the most affordable thing in the world, and we're really trying to change that and make higher education and international experiences more affordable, more accessible for every student. So our semester tuition does range depending on the location. It ranges between $15,000 to $25,000 a semester. It includes housing, it includes meals, it includes everything except your flights to that country and the cost of books. So it's really awesome. We do accept financial aid, so any FAFSA you receive can be applied to Verto. We also have scholarships and opportunity grants for some of our semesters, so you could be paying as low as only $5,000 to travel around Latin America and earn 16 credits. This is a breakdown of how our tuition spans. And then we have an honors program. This slide's out of date because we just announced it to the world, but essentially it's for academically rigorous students. It's a full year with Verto, and the tuition starts at $60,000, but can be as low as $0 for a full year of college traveling around the world, which is pretty exciting. So any students who are interested in getting more information, you can check out our Instagram, you can check out our website, you can scan this little QR code and I'll send you some more information to your email. And please don't hesitate to check us out. And I think that that's all I've got.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Lainey, for sharing that information about Verto Education. And finally, up in this grouping, we've got London Metropolitan University, and I'll encourage them to grab screen share from me real quick. And a reminder, throw in your questions in that Q&A to all three of our groups today, and they'll be able to answer them. And we've got some time at the end to cover some questions as well. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Megan from London Metropolitan University.
Thank you very much. Let me just get my slides up here. Okay, Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me and the other presenters for this session. So we're a little bit of the non-traditional experience to present to you guys today because we are presenting international universities or experiences, and I hope it's something that you consider that might have been outside the box for you. So I wanted to talk to you a bit about London Metropolitan University. We are located in the heart of central London, and I will give you a snapshot of our two campuses soon. But first, I just wanted to introduce myself. If you wanted to jot down my email address so you have my contact information in case you are interested in getting in touch about London Met afterwards. But my name is Megan Godding, and I represent US applicants to London Metropolitan University in the UK. So I actually am remote based in the States, but the rest of my team actually sits on our campus in London, and I work with them every day and really in touch with them, but I really help the applicants who are applying from North America. So you can always get in touch with me. And the reason that I do this is because I was also an international student in London, and then I ended up living there and working there for many years. So I really like working with students that transition over to the UK. So as a quick overview to London Met, again, we're located in the heart of central London, and we have two campuses, one at Holloway Road and one at Aldgate. I like to think of them as sort of our right and left brain campuses, and I'll go through the different degree programs that we offer in both places, but one's very much more arts and creative focused, and the other is more sciences and business and IT. We have about 10,000 students, and about 7,500 of them are undergraduate students. So mostly undergrads, but quite a lot of grad students and students doing their master's and PhD as well. We're proud to represent over 147 nationalities in our student body, faculty, and staff, and we are considered one of the most diverse universities in the UK. Over 65% of our students come from a minority or underrepresented background. We have loads of first-generation students. Really, there's a place for everybody at London Met, and I go over quite often when it's not 2020 in the middle of a global pandemic. I go over and spend a lot of time on campus and with the students, and it's a really welcoming environment. Again, you know, your classmates are from all over the world, so you really get a global perspective and experience that you might not have in the same way on a US campus. One of our alumni that we're very proud of is the current mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, and he is a big advocate for students coming to the city of London to study from all over the world. And so I just like to include this quote here. It resonates with me as well because, like I said, I was an international student from the United States who moved to the UK, and really it opened up my perspective to so many things beyond what I had grown up with. And I feel really grateful that I got the opportunity to study in London for those years and then get to work and live there. And I just want to pass on that experience. London's always ranked as one of the top cities in the world for international students. And you can just do a Google search to read a lot of the rankings and blogs on that. But as a quick rundown for applicants from the US, some things you might not know is that bachelor's degrees in the UK are 3 years rather than 4 years, and master's degrees are actually 1 year rather than 2. So you can get your degree program done sooner in the UK than if you were at a lot of institutions in the US. Our tuition fees tends to be lower than a lot of out-of-state or private options in the US. So you can see our tuition and fees for the upcoming academic year, about 16 to 18,000 US dollars for the year. That does not include housing and living costs, but I say all-inclusive, including all of your living costs and flights back and forth from the US, I tell students to budget about $35,000 for the year. So again, still more affordable than private or out-of-state options. We offer international student scholarships. Like the other presenters today, we also accept US financial aid. You fill out the FAFSA form as if you were doing that for a US institution. We have rolling admissions and no application fee, and we have start dates in September or actually January as well. So if you wanted to take a little time off between ending high school and beginning with us, you could do that. We work with a lot of US students who have taken community college credits on transferring, and sometimes they can be given second year entries, so you can actually skip some of the program component. Normally our standard GPA admissions requirements for US students is 3.0, but we look at everyone's application on a case-by-case basis, so do get in touch if you're interested in applying. We normally accept SAT, ACT, or AP test scores, but given the situation with test optional, heading into this application cycle. We are also evaluating that on a case-by-case basis, so please get in touch with me if you want to apply and you're not going to have those test scores. The UK government offers a post-study work visa, so after you finish your degree, you actually can get a 2-year work visa to stay and work in the UK, which is really neat opportunity for international students. And if you were nervous about feeling homesick and you want to be able to go home, over the holidays in the summertime, there's actually very long-term breaks where you can come back to the United States if you'd like to, but you would have a resident permit as a student there, so you could stay the whole time as well. It's up to you. Here's just a cool aerial view from our Holloway Road campus, and quickly just buzz through our 2 campuses. So Holloway Road is really our home to our business, science, and IT programs. You can see a lot of the options listed below, from international business to the human sciences, and a lot of our US students take the social sciences like psychology and international relations. This campus is located next to Emirates Stadium, which is the home of Arsenal Football Club, and a lot of our students really like that if they're Premier League soccer fans. And something that's really cool is we have a super lab on campus, one of the largest teaching facilities in Europe. Sorry, I believe I've gone over, so I will answer more questions on London Met in the Q&A. And if anyone's interested in the arts or architecture, you can get in touch with me as well. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. I'm going to encourage all my panelists to turn on their video. We're going to do a little round robin of some general questions that they can answer very briefly. So panelists, if you want to turn on your videos very quickly here. All right, so question for the group. We'll go in the same order that we presented in, but 45 seconds. What is the most favorite thing about your institution or about your organization? What do you love the most about your institution or your organization?
I'll start. I love how close we are to Mexico City. I mean, being one of the largest cities in the world, there's so much to do. We're within 5 hours from a major beach. We're right next to a volcano, so there's tons of hiking opportunities, lots of archaeological stuff to study if that's what you're into. And then Mexican culture just everywhere. Food, they're super inviting, and everyone really wants to make you a part of Mexico. So that's kind of what I really like about it.
Awesome. Verto, what's your most favorite thing about Verto Education?
Yeah, I think it would just have to be that there are so many options for people to choose from, and that it's a great way to combine traveling and education at the same time. So it's not like, do I take a gap year? Do I go to college? It's both of those worlds in one awesome package with a bow on top.
Cool. Megan, what's your most favorite thing about London Metropolitan University?
Yeah, I think just in general, it's the location, again, being in the heart of central London. London is a global city, so it's a British city, but really it's the whole world. You experience every culture, every background, every opportunity that you would want for a work experience or an internship, whether you are interested in theater or finance. Our faculty and are really practitioners in the field, so you get that real life experience. So you really, there's not a lot of places in the world, that you can have such a global experience and then have the access to Europe to get to go over to mainland Europe or explore the rest of the UK.
Great. Other general question for the three of you. What advice would you have for a senior watching right now? Tips or advice that you will have for a senior watching right now? We'll do same order.
Okay. Finish strong. I know that we get senioritis, and now with everything going on with the pandemic, you guys are getting a little bit tired, but you need to finish strong because we're watching till the end. Make sure that you get stuff in. Like if you have questions, start asking now. Don't wait until the spring, because then you're going to feel like it's all on top of you. So ask questions now, get engaged now, and apply. Because, even if your reach school says no, we might be a great option. We might be your reach school. You never know. And the last thing is, don't be afraid. I know with everything going on with the pandemic, I don't want you to be afraid. We're doing amazing things at our campus to keep it very locked down in the sense of how we're coming and going. Like just to give you an example, at our school, they're changing out the mask by color according to each month. And then they pick up the mask and take the mask back at the end of each day so that they autoclave them so that you are safe. I mean, that is a huge goal at our school, is for everyone to stay safe.
Awesome. Lainey, advice for seniors?
Yeah, definitely everything that you just said. But yeah, also I think it's important, like at this time, every single person that you're having a conversation with is asking you about college, and that can be really annoying, I'm sure, and possibly overwhelming. So I think just being able to like take a step back and know like everybody is in the same boat as you that's a senior right now. I think it's a really great idea to like just put something, I don't know if you use a calendar, but like put something on your calendar, like times per week, that like this is the time that I focus on college stuff, because that is really helpful. So it's not just floating around. And also last thing is just to take some time to think about what you really want for yourself. Don't just go with the flow and do what your friends are doing. Like really take some time to think about like what you personally want. They're always going to be your friends, and it's okay if you guys go separate ways for a little while.
Great. Megan?
Yeah, I guess I would definitely echo what they both said. Again, we're kind of the out of box session here, but I would encourage you to take that adventure and be brave and think outside the box with this, because it's not as culturally common for U.S. high school students to apply for international experiences for their full degree. It's more culturally common to do a U.S. institution and a short-term study abroad semester, which is also a great option if that's in your plans. But the idea of doing a full degree overseas or some alternative experience as well, like Verto, is really cool and a neat new model. Like, I think that sounds awesome. And so just knowing you don't have to do what your peers are doing, even if everyone else around you is just applying to schools in the United States, there is these great options. And when you touch down at orientation or get to international campuses, you'll realize that there are peers and young people from all over the world doing this for full degree. It's just not quite as common right now, but it's becoming more and more popular, and it's really going to be, I hope, a really popular option in future. And again, sometimes really more affordable than staying within the United States.
Yeah, and I just want to add, Megan, you're right. Like Megan, myself, and I think Lanny, we all studied abroad just to kind of do something different, and we all came back, which is funny, right? We came back and we benefited from that international experience. So, I mean, I always use my Spanish almost daily. I know more about the world morely because I got to study abroad.
Well, thank you all for sharing all of these tips with the students and about your institution specifically. Students, thank you for joining us. I'm going to encourage the panelists. There are a few questions that have come in through the chat, so I'll give you a few minutes before we close this webinar so you can type your responses to those questions. If you do have other questions, please do feel free to type them in, and we will sit in awkward silence as they go ahead and type those answers for each of those students. Students, if you don't have any more questions, as you close this window, a very quick 4-question survey will appear. We ask for your feedback on today's presentation, not just this session, but all of the sessions as well. There are no more sessions for the Yes Prep, so this is the last blocking, but we'll work to get the recordings for all of the sessions up very soon at that same place that you went to register. So thank you all for joining us. Panelists, feel free to type the responses for those remaining questions, and we'll hang on the line for the next few minutes as you're typing.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I accidentally pressed answer live instead of type for one, and I'm not sure if I can go back on that. So somebody asked about architecture and graphic design. We do have both of those courses. You can reach out to me by email. I'll give you the easier address, just international@londonmet.ac.uk. Again, that's international@londonmet.ac.uk. Sorry that I messed up on answering that by typing.
I tried to answer on here about the email, but it says I already answered it. Okay, I can type it again. Okay, let me do it. There you go, Daisy.
All right, thank you. Oh, actually, a few more questions came in.
I do want to answer about the nursing program. Mexico did a program nationwide to have like 2,000, there was a huge promotion countrywide for nursing programs. And so we do have a lot to offer. If you send me an email, I will send you back what we have and how it works.
Someone just asked, and I think it'd be easier to give a live answer on just if the transition to living and studying abroad is difficult. And I just wanted to say yes and no. I mean, we'd be lying to say that it's just super easy. You move to another country, no problem. But it's part of the growth and learning experience. And to me, like the challenges that came with it are what made it even better and have helped me grow in so many ways in my personal life, professional life. So yeah, transitioning to living and studying abroad is difficult, but it's so rewarding and awesome. And every one of our organizations or universities would have so many support services and staff to help you from application through pre-departure, through the experience, and even coming back home. So don't let that intimidate you, let that excite you.
And like she said, we're not going to let you go live wherever and do whatever. That I even think that Lonnie and I both said we do offer on campus, and then once you're an upperclassman, then you can move off campus. By then you'll know what to do. But there's not the question of how do I get electricity or internet. All that is included with your schooling. Just like if you were to go to Texas A&M. The difficult part, I'll be very honest with you, is you're going to miss your home. You're going to miss your family, and you're a little bit further away.
But the good thing is we now have WhatsApp and a million ways to be connecting at all times. So it's easier, I think, to be living abroad and away from your family than it used to be, perhaps, because you could be in touch almost too often now. So
yeah, and you're going to want to tell your parents, like, look where we're at. We're at this place, or look, we're on vacation here. So, those opportunities are there. But that's the only thing that I can see that you would honestly miss is your family. And that you would miss them if you went, up north from Texas.
All right. Thank you so much for the presenters for sharing this information. Students, thank you for tuning in. Everyone have a great day. Thanks for participating in this Yes Prep program. Take care, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you.
thank you.